What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to my monkey cave. Unfortunately, we have a few more things to fix on the TJ, and I know that we just recently rebuilt the front axle, and 10 minutes into the first trail after rebuilding the front axle, I blew up the rear axle. Yeah. Basically what happened was everything was covered in snow and ice. So what had happened was I was rolling back, and as soon as I got to the bottom of the hill, there was a creek with a lot of rocks inside, and I caught crazy traction once I got into the creek. I didn't think in time to hit the clutch, and I was still spinning tires. As soon as I hit the creek, I caught too much traction, and that's when everything kind of started breaking and went to shit. So unfortunately, we made a mistake, and now we're gonna pay for it. So let's jump underneath, excuse me, and let's see exactly what I broke, because I think I know exactly what happened, because I have done something very similar before. So let's go and let's see if this is what I think it is, because if it is, I can fix it myself. If not, then we're gonna need a little bit of help. But let's jump in there and let's at least diagnose the situation. So when everything broke, it sort of decided to take out whatever's inside here, and I know that it's either my spider gears or my ring and pinion. I'm really hoping it's my spider gears. However, it also took out my U-joint. So we will have to remove the drive shaft. But one thing that I can show you guys is right now it is not in gear. Or actually it is in gear. Okay, let me take it out of gear for a second. Both wheels are on the ground. I have a chock in place so we don't roll away. And you can see that's not good. Both wheels are on the ground, and we can just spin this freely, basically. So, yeah, that's not a good sign. I have to take this out because we're gonna need at least one U-joint. I'll be able to better diagnose this one once I take everything out. So we'll remove this, and then we'll drain the pumpkin and see exactly what I messed up. Well, there she is. And I gotta say, it is cooked. This cap is split and broken. There wasn't a single needle bearing on either side of those two caps. The inner ones, or the ones connected to the actual drive shaft, are still good. They're still tight. But these two completely gave up, and you can see how beat up these ends got. Like, there's some melted on piece of plastic there, and they're just beat and hammered. So yeah, luckily this end is still functional, so we don't need to do anything on that side. I will pick up a new U-joint for this side. And I'm starting to think, I know there's guys that when they build their rigs, and they build like crazy rigs, they put crappier U-joints just so that this is your failure point and you don't have to replace anything inside your axle like shafts. But we'll see. I don't know. I think I'm still gonna get the same U-joint, like a good U-joint, Spicer U-joint, but damn, that one really took a beating.
Well, moment of truth. Let's get this last bolt out, and let's not drop it into the pan. All right, I'm gonna clean it all up and hope for the best. Oh, there's teeth in there. Honestly, it's been a while since this thing's been to the dentist, and I don't plan on going back. Yeah, it is very, very metallic in there. That is shiny. Pretty, but not the right kind of pretty. Well, there's those few teeth that I pulled out, and they got broken off pretty clean. Like, you can see that's like a whole tooth. Like, geez. All right, well,
After looking at it, it looks like it is just the spider gears, which are those gears in the center, which I'll show you in just a moment. It was pretty violent in there because it took out my gasket, and this is a lifetime gasket. Like, you can reuse this as many times as you want. It's called a lube locker, and it has like a rubber section and a metal section to it, so it's not felt. It actually works really well. And I love this gasket because I've been using it for like 3 years now, servicing my own stuff, and it's held up great. But it looks like I'm gonna have to replace it because it definitely is compromised now. But these things, excuse me, these things hold up really well. So I'm surprised how violent it got in there. So that's garbage. Yeah, it definitely got violent in there. There's some chunks missing on the inside of the case here. So yeah, you can see some scrape marks all along here. That's not very good, not good at all. Let's diagnose a little bit better what happened inside, and let's see the other damage. If we look in here, you can see the spider gears are all messed up. They are cooked. Definitely need new spider gears. Hopefully we don't need new bearings, and hopefully we don't need a new ring and pinion. But let's give her a spin and take a look and see exactly what she looks like. That's just oil. To be honest, the ring gear looks okay. And if the ring gear looks okay, then I'm hoping that the pinion is good. Let me actually get a better light in there because I can see. Let's see if I can get a shot for you guys. I think we're in luck. Yeah, you can see the gears. Let me see if I can. You can see the gears are all screwed up inside. They're missing all kinds of teeth and they are just destroyed. So I think that is exactly what we have to do, is get ourselves new spider gears, because my ring and pinion look okay, thankfully. Now, I did end up driving this thing home in its current state, like 3 hours from the trail. And it made it home in 4-wheel drive. So basically like front wheel drive, because you saw the back drive shaft wasn't doing anything at that point. Now, I left the drive shaft out. I left the fluid out of the axle, but I didn't take anything out of the axle, just for the simple fact that I'm not going to be able to actually take the shafts out, take the wheels out, or take the wheels off, I should say, take the shafts out and leave everything out. Because once I remove that carrier with the spider gears inside of it, I'm not going to be able to put shafts back in until I put it back in. I won't be able to put it back in until I have new gears, and I don't have the new gears yet. And I am here in the monkey cave in my in my underground parking, and unfortunately I cannot be leaving this thing taken apart with the wheels off for more than the time that I'm down here with it. If I leave, I have to have it back together, because I don't want anybody coming and complaining. I don't want any issues. I don't want anyone touching it. It's just a liability. I don't want anything happening. So a lot of you guys will now say, hey, just get yourself a locker, throw a locker in there. You won't have to replace those gears. Yes and no. These axles, the way that we wheel, they will not last with a locker. I know from personal experience. I have a lot of buddies that wheel TJs, and these Dana 35s, they do not last. If you put a locker in it, you're going to be going through shafts. And if I blow a shaft, I'm not driving it home. So I, for now, am going to keep replacing the gears, or replace them one more time. And hopefully we can get ourselves maybe a new axle or something better and stronger. Maybe I'll build this axle and throw in some chromoly shafts. Then I'll get a locker, then I'll get 35s, and then it'll be a little bit more built. and hopefully it'll be able to handle itself. But in its current state, with all the stock, everything, basically stock shafts, stock internals, I'm not playing with it. I'm not going to be going and putting lockers on my Dana 30 or my Dana 35, just for the simple fact of it cannot handle what I throw at it. And I know from personal experience, trust me guys. So if you guys are in the same boat and you have a TJ and you have locked it, great, I hope it lasts. But at the end of the day, the way that I drive it and the way that we wheel it, it's not going to last. So I am going to get myself new gears. I did find some from US standard gear, and those ones are like 90 bucks, or I can get some from Yukon for like 170. I think I'm going to go for the Yukons because I know Yukon is a good name, a good brand name, and I hope that they're going to last me a bit longer. So let's go. Let's order up all the parts. I'm going to need a U-joint. I'm going to need at least the lube locker. I'm going to need the gears. Possibly I might need a yoke. I'm not too sure yet. I'll have to inspect that a little bit more. But for now, I think that's all the parts I'm going to need. So let's go. Let's start ordering stuff. And as soon as everything gets in, we'll start slapping her back together and full send onto the trails. I think I should probably leave that in there because now we don't have a drive shaft. So let's not roll away. You never know with the e-brake on a Jeep. But I just ordered all the parts. I do have to wait an extra day or two for the gears, but the U-joint should be here before that, so at least we could throw that in, have that ready to go, and then we'll throw the gears in. And I do not need to remove the carrier to do the gears. However, I do want to clean out the inside of the actual diff, so I will be removing the carrier for that reason. And since we have a little bit of time on our hands, we're waiting for parts from Amazon. This thing is filthy, so let's go pick up some gear oil and let's give this thing a wash because yeah, she is dirty. And I do order a lot of my parts on Amazon, especially for the TJ. I've ordered things such as radiators, skid plates, mirrors, lights, switches, the blower motor resistor, spare tire rack, like all kinds of different stuff, tons of different things. So if you guys are looking for parts, that's pretty much where I go to first. And if I can't find it there, then I start looking around elsewhere. But yeah, that's pretty much the first place I look. And no matter what, you can't get away from it, man. Even when you have fenders, you can see how clean it is right here by the fender. And then you've got all of that spray from the tire just covering the rest of the vehicle. Like, it does not stop all the way to the end. So even though you've got fenders, there's enough tires sticking out that, yeah. Oh well, Jeep life, I guess. Well, it started snowing and I was unsuccessful in washing the Gladiator, but we did make it to get our oil. So I got myself 2 bottles of full synthetic 75 140. I got some shop towels, and you know how it is whenever you walk into a hardware store, you always leave with more than what you came for. And these were on sale. Grabbed them for like $7. So those will definitely come in handy. You can always use a nice pair of long needle nose. So we got that. And I got my U-joint. So we are waiting for the gears still, but the U-joint arrived. So we can throw this in at least. And I got Uncle Vince here to help us. He's gonna be holding the drive shaft for me just so it doesn't bounce around and go everywhere and gets me a little bit more stable. And I thought I brought us 2 chairs. I brought one little fishing chair and the other one ended up being a freaking tripod. So yeah, fuck.
I'm not sitting on that thing.
Yeah, I'm not sitting on that. Okay, round 2. And Vince had to dip. So I walked him out and I took a break because honestly, I banged my hand a couple times. I know that it looks like this is 1, 2, 3 and then you get it out, but it's really not. Me and this guy were banging it for probably a good half an hour. You can see my hand definitely caught a good one there. It feels funny in all of my fingers, let me tell you that much. And you can see this is what that extension started out life as, and this is what it looks like now. So yeah, she's definitely gone through it. She's definitely taken a beating, but this is the 3rd U-joint I'm doing with this extension. So I know that this is going to be sacrificed for using it for stuff like this. Same with this socket. That socket is done, it's cooked. But yeah, this thing's really seized in there. You can see that little piece of plastic on there. That's the plastic washer that is inside of the U-joint. And there was so much heat that it melted on there. So I know that this went through a lot of stress and it seized itself in there. That's why it's so hard to get out. I know I could buy myself a ball joint press, which also will do U-joints. However, I don't know if I'm gonna just destroy the ball joint press. And I don't know if I wanna go rent one and go through all that. I'm gonna just keep going through it. I'm gonna man through it. As you can see by the wood here, we're not going light. Like we're reaming on it and she's not coming out. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna do my best. Sorry about the background noise, guys. As you can see, my my beautiful workshop here is actually, oh shit, lost my balance. My beautiful workshop here is actually an underground garage. I do my best with what I've got, and hopefully we don't piss too many people off with the loud noises today. But yeah, my hand hurts like hell, and it'll feel a lot better once I get this U-joint done, let me tell you that much. So let's get it done, let's work through it, and yeah, let's put this thing in. All right, I took a day to regroup. Hand is feeling fine, surprisingly. Looks worse than it is. Vince is back. And I actually said, screw it, let's just get the tool. So I ended up grabbing one, but I did end up grabbing the Amazon special. So I paid like 70 bucks instead of 270 bucks. I figured if I break it or if it bends, well then it's still cheaper than paying for labor. And I can always pretty much return it and get another one because Amazon's not too bad for that stuff. But it seems like it's gonna be okay. Like it looks like the other ones. It's thick, it's heavy. However, why did they paint the Chinesium? I don't know. But yeah. So this will let me do ball joints as well. This is a ball joint press, but it'll also let me do U-joints. So let's go and let's try to bang out the U-joint today, or press out the U-joint. And if it works for that, then at least we'll be able to do ball joints. And I know I can rent these things, but if I can find one that actually works for me, I'd rather have one on hand because I've got this Jeep, I've got this Jeep, so definitely I'll use the ball joint press more than not. So yeah, let's go and let's see if it works or if we destroy the tool the first use. We've got everything lined up pretty good, so the U-joint should be able to come right through, in theory.
Got it. Oh shit.
Oh, it's almost through. So far so good. I think we need to get it a little bit more though. We need to push it through just a tad more.
Holy shit, that worked. Holy shit, that worked.
Yep, that's it. The cap's coming off. It's twisting. She's a little seized in there, but she's coming. Oh, there we go. We got the cap. Okay.
Got lined up now.
Now we just, yeah, exactly. We gotta line up this side better.
Sure it pops through.
Let me see what it looks like so that we can line it up. Yeah, tighten that. Oh, wait, it slipped, it slipped.
Right, yeah,
Unscrew it a bit.
Unscrew.
Okay, right there.
Yeah, tight. Tight. Yeah, tight.
Yeah, that's right on the money. That should be it.
Yep, that's it. Look at that. Look at that, 2 hours of beating or about 2 minutes of using the right tool. That's what the right tool makes the difference. And this is pretty much my second time doing U-joints. This is my third U-joint. So I did do it the beating it out way, but I think this is a lot better. And as you guys can see, the Amazon tool works. And you don't need an impact wrench, you could do it by hand. This thing actually tells you not to use an impact wrench because, as you can see, it's kind of eating itself. But like I said, they're 60 bucks and they charge 130 for an hour of work. So if I gotta buy one of these every couple of years or every year or whatever, I'd rather do that. Or buy the right tool for 260 bucks and buy it once. Just make sure it's all clean and we can get the new one in there. And there you go, one fresh drive shaft. She's good to go. Now we just slap her back in and wait for the gears.
Oh, it's nice when you can fix your own stuff. So we have a couple other things that I need to complete, including this light. It got ripped off while I was getting towed out the other day out of the trail after I broke the axle. Sick. One more thing off the list, and that was an easy one. The next one, that one's gonna be fun. So I went to go pull the handle the other day and she kind of just stayed open. It doesn't want to go back into its position, and yeah, fun times. So I guess it's time to take the panel off. So basically what happened inside the door is when you pull the handle, there's like a little lever that moves the actual mechanism, and the mechanism is so sticky that every time the lever goes to move, it kind of jumps over, and that's why the handle wasn't able to go back, because the lever was on the wrong side of that little mechanism. So I'm hoping some grease helps the situation, but yeah, hopes and dreams, hopes and dreams. So when I move the handle, that little guy that moves right there wants to jump to the other side. As you can see there, it's not letting it do its thing. So I'm hoping the grease will help it out. Because there, you can see it's starting to do its thing. It's actually starting to move. You can see that little handle there with the little grease on the end. That's about to drip. There we go. That's it. That's that little handle I'm talking about. Well, greasing it helped quite a bit. You gotta be gentle with it, because if you go reaming on it and go all the way to the end, it can still hop over, but we have a handle for now. For now. Surprisingly enough, this side actually has all the original screws, which I honestly don't believe, but they're all the exact same screws, so what do I have to, like, I have to believe they're the same ones, right? Well, sometimes you have extra, sometimes you miss one, because I'm missing one. She seems like she's on there. I think we're good. I'll find another screw somewhere, and like I said, now they're not all gonna match because they never do. So, yeah. Now the fun part. And I guess we'll put the handle about there. I'm not gonna lie, putting that handle on was the worst part, but there is a trick to it. If you get that little pin started on the actual shaft, just barely, it won't actually cover the splines and you'll still be able to get it on all the way. And then just pop it in with a screwdriver and that's it. So we've got a handle. It does not come off. Like you can see, I can close the door with it. It's not coming off. But the most important part, I greased everything inside the door. And now I've got a door handle again. Sick. Honestly, I thought I was gonna have to replace this handle because of how sticky it was, but I guess it was just the mechanism inside. The actual handle moves very freely, but the rods and the linkages inside were kind of rusted up. And now I think we're good to go. Sweet. And I'm gonna ask you guys for some help on this one. If you guys have a solution for me, my rear defrost, the wire kind of just fell off because I guess it corroded away. Now, I know that these can be soldered on. However, I don't have the guy, like the the little guy that like plugs into the little piece that it would solder in, like right there. You can see that. I don't have that. So I don't know where it went or what happened to it, but I would really like to get some defrost going again. A few days have gone by. Me and Vince are back because the gears are finally here. They're actually here one day early. And I did actually end up going with the cheaper set, the US standard gear. Honestly, they looked like the exact same product when I was looking at the descriptions and the pictures. Like the pictures were identical. So for all I know, it is the exact same gears. The other ones just have a different name. If you guys know better than me, if Yukon and USA standard gear are the same guys, then let me know. But we've got our gears. These ones kind of fell out of the box, like out of the packaging, but I did check the size and it does say M35 on there. It's really hard for this camera to focus on tiny things like that, but take my word for it. It's stamped in there, M35, and on my build sheet for my Jeep, I have an M35. So we've got our two gears that attach to our actual axles with the splines, and then we've got our two other gears, and then we've got the locking pin. So pretty much everything, including the actual like split pins here. So let's go. I've already taken off the wheels. I've already taken off the drums, and I've already drained the diff. So I took the cover back off, and now we've got to remove the carrier and get to the gears. And while I was under here, like, look at this thing. It's got grass, mud, everything caked in everywhere. And look at that skid plate. Like, that thing took a beating. Jeez. And this is a new skid plate. It's probably like 2 years old, but you know how I drive. That thing definitely earned its name. Well, there's one. And there's our first C-clip. Could you push the axle in for me?
Yep.
And there's our second C-clip. And now, could you pull the axle out for me? Not all the way, but yeah, keep going, a little more. Keep going. Okay, that's it. There's our first gear. And could you pull the other side for me, bro?
Like the other tire?
Yeah, like the same thing you did.
Pull it to me?
Yep. Okay, that's perfect. All right. So we got the gears out. I'll give you guys a better look at those in a second. But to be honest, I think that I should be able to get in here pretty well to clean out the pumpkin without removing the carrier. So we might not even have to do that today. So that will save us a little bit of work. And here are the gears. Wow. So these ones are pretty eaten, but there's still a bit of a groove left. Like you can still see the channels on the gears on both of these. So yeah, these ones are pretty damn polished, but I'll show you one that's even worse from last time. These ones, yeah, that's that clicking that I heard. Every time you hear a click, that's a tooth. So yeah, good times, real good times. More souvenirs, I guess, for me. And I'll show you guys a gear from the last time I had this happen to me. You can see this one, you can barely see the channels. Like they're still there, but this one is pretty smooth. This one is polished. Like, especially when you compare it to a new one. Damn, what a world of a difference on those. But yeah, let's go, let's put it back together, and hopefully we can send it tomorrow, because today is Friday, and you know what the weekend is for. Vince fam, you're struggling over there, eh?
No, I can't see where it's going, bro. I'm trying to. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, push it.
Push.
Beautiful, that's where I need it.
That's it?
Yeah, give me 1 sec, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna have to get you to pull it in a second, or wait, maybe let me see if I can push it from my end. Okay. Okay, let's try the other side.
Yeah. It's not all the push in. Should I push it in?
No, no, not yet, because I don't have the locking pin in yet.
Same thing on this side?
Yeah.
Now, you ready?
Yep.
Yeah. There we go. Go
Okay.
flash it this time.
Nice. Keep going.
Push?
Yep. Okay, hold on.
Yep.
I'm gonna throw on the locking little guy. Okay, and I think that's it. Our axle's locked in. Let me try to put in the gears. There we go. Oh, finally. Okay, so I actually put this pin in upside down. There's a bigger hole and a smaller hole, so I just flipped it and it fits a lot better. It doesn't actually rattle anymore. So let's tighten that down, and then we can fill the diff, and I think that's pretty much it for repairs. Happy to say. Got her back on the ground, got the wheels on. Now I just gotta clean everything up, put the oil in, and take her for a test. While the wheels were off, I actually used brake cleaner for what it was meant for. You can see a puddle here. I actually cleaned the brakes, believe it or not. But yeah, I also adjusted my rear brakes, so we should have a proper e-brake now. I did put the chock in the front just so that we didn't have this thing roll away while the wheels and axles were out. But so far so good, and to be honest, I'm more proud of myself that I found the right parts on Amazon than I am getting them in. But yeah, let's clean this up, let's get it back together, because I am ready to be done with this and take it for a test drive. Also sounds like we've inspired somebody else. In the 6 years that I've been here, I haven't heard anybody else working down here, so it's kind of nice to know that I'm not alone. But yeah, maybe they heard me banging out the U-joint the other day and they said, well, I guess if they can, then I can too. But no, honestly, I haven't heard anybody else ever working down here, and today somebody's banging away over there. So nice. Moment of truth. Let's see if we made any difference. Well, I don't hear anything in the rear end, so I think that's a good sign. It honestly just sounds normal. So that's what we were looking for. And after we did the U-joint, we did the rear end, and we did the light and the door, I think we're finally ready to hit the trail. So now let's go out onto the actual road, because I don't hear any noises in the underground. And let's see what it sounds like at speed. And then if it's all good, fill her with gas, and let's go get her dirty. Or dirtier. Jeep is just one thing after another. If you're not a mechanic or you don't have content to make, good luck to you. But I think that's pretty much gonna cover it for today, guys. I am pretty much fed up. I'm done working on this thing. I have done everything I can. We've got the U-joints done, we've got the rear axle done, we've got the door done, we've got the blinker done, we've got the LED light done. I think we've done enough. So, if you guys enjoyed today's video, or you guys wanna see me take this thing off-road and see exactly what it can do, then definitely jump down there, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you guys wanna see more of Vince, drop a line in the comments, because you know he's gonna be back on the channel. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming around. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. But until then, guys, ride safe out there. Peace.